Scott Mendelson did a great write-up. Scott Mendelson of Forbes did a really good write-up on this whole situation, and he said it best about the impact of this Warner deal on HBO Max too. He says how it's going to affect theaters. He says we don't know because we can't know. I'm trying to think of the old Donald Rumsfeld. This is the only movie podcast that's going to bring up Donald Rumsfeld this week. I'll tell you that. It's
unknown unknowns.
Is it a known unknown? Things that we know that we don't know. I think it's a known unknown.
There are known knowns and there are unknown unknowns.
Yeah, I watched a documentary on him. He outlined all four. I think this is a known unknown. Some things we know that we don't know. Okay, it's only movie podcast that's going to bring up Donald Rumsfeld.
In that context, it was just let us bomb Iraq. But in terms of like how, in terms of that what that does for theaters, he's got a point. And honestly, hey yo, he wasn't. I don't think Rumsfeld was the first one to use known unknowns, but
probably not.
But he is the most associated with it, unfortunately, because hey yo, he actually brings up a point. Not Rumsfeld, but Mendelson.
I'm sorry I brought it up, but
that's okay. That documentary is good.
Let me say this. I'm gonna take a stand right here. Why I remain hopeful for movie theaters. There's a few points I'll hit on overall. I won't overload you initially, but some talking points. Why I remain hopeful for movie theaters, I still think there's too much revenue to be made at the box office to ignore them. It's still the model on which the industry operates the most. And you got to think, these movies nowadays are coming out with 9-figure budgets. They are essentially like mini companies, or full-fledged companies, truthfully. With Godzilla versus Kong. That's a $150 million movie right there, plus X amount of figures, however the hell much they've already spent on marketing. And the reason, too, there's too much revenue at the box office. Streaming plays right into the hands of piracy. It is so much easier now to pirate these movies that when they come on streaming apps, 1080p 4K quality, it's not like shaky camera in a movie theater sort of thing right now either. You just rip it directly from the internet and put it online. So streaming plays right into the hands of piracy. And also, I think another point is that you're looking at a model like Warner has concocted, as well as, even though the logistics on Warner's model are shaky, as well as Cinemark has kind of done with Comcast on a shared revenue model, which happened with Universal and Trolls World Tour earlier this year, how they cut the profits with theaters. What do you guys think? Are you guys hopeful for the future of movie theaters? What's your stance? Joe, I'll start with you.
No, I think theaters are going to be fine too. You brought up literally points I wanted to say. It's the base of everything here. No matter what, like this is what Hollywood ran on, was movie theaters. And these are still like I think people keep forgetting, because like one of my friends was losing her mind about this, because like she loves going to the theaters as much as I do. And she's like, I don't care. I will go to another country to watch In the Heights, The Suicide Squad, all these movies I've been looking forward to coming out. And I'm just like, you don't have to do that. It says 31 days on HBO Max, and then theaters. Like, we can, like, we'll be fine. Don't worry. I do feel like, because we're thinking like, remember, they're doing this across the whole year of 2021. It isn't like on one day all these movies are coming out across the board.
That would be freaking epic.
Oh my god,
that would be like Movie Pass. That would be like what it felt like with Movie Pass.
And then just like Movie Pass, HBO Max would probably tank. But yeah, for that, I look at it like this: throughout the year they're going to be spread out. So who knows when these movies are coming out, because they don't even have the release dates of when these will be coming out on HBO Max, because they haven't even slated their 2021 release dates either for some of these movies as well. So we don't know where the virus will be at this point. And just like Dom, I'm glad this is happening, because yeah, it stops people from going out. And like in Illinois, we shut down theaters because a lot of cases were traced back to theaters. So I'm glad that they're doing this, because it keeps people at home. It keeps people entertained, because I know that's the biggest thing, because my dad's going crazy and itching for something to watch every minute. It keeps people at home, like Dom said. But if the virus down the line, let's just say over the summer, and Suicide Squad is out, and Godzilla, and all these big blockbusters that were most likely going to come out during the summer, if the virus numbers are down, people can go to the theaters with like their limited capacity and everything. And if they want to have their theater experience and everything, they're more welcome to do so. It's just the people that now find it more convenient just to stay at home and are subscribed to HBO Max or want to stay safe but want to see these movies, they can do so now. And we have to think overseas too. Everybody else is thriving but us, man. Like Japan's about to open the Nintendo Land theme park at their Universal Studios place because they're doing so well because people actually wear masks out there. So like
Florida one got delayed because it's Florida. Well, honestly, that was going to happen.
That was going to happen either way.
No, it's true. A lot of other countries, you look around, a lot of other countries are like on the rebound. There's still some struggling, but like we are like the what not to do in the unwritten book of COVID.
Oh, yes. So there are theaters out there. They're going to be fine. And I'm pretty sure this deal, I don't think HBO Max, is it overseas? Is the streaming service overseas? Or is it like one of the Netflix deals where it's like anything that comes to HBO Max will come to Netflix overseas? I'm not too familiar, but I'm pretty sure even overseas they'll be fine because as we saw with Tenet's box office, most of its money came from overseas, not here.
Yeah.
So, to me, theaters are going to be fine. They're going to take a hit. It's not the death of them, though. It's going to be the death of some of them, and I hate to say that because I love going to the theaters. I love having that experience, but I won't be surprised as I'm driving around, like, you know, the pandemic down the line, I see my Marcus Theater or my AMC that I pass up on the way to work or on the way to the grocery store. I wouldn't be surprised if I see that closing down at some point. I don't think it's going to be all of them, though, but this is going to take a hit no matter what. That doesn't mean they won't come back down the line, but there are going to be some that take a hit, and it's for the best because of how this pandemic's been going. But, like, I don't think this is going to change everything, because I'm telling you right now, let's just say 2022, everything's good. You ain't going to get the Batman on HBO Max day one. No, the Batman's going straight to theaters to make a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
Dom, your thoughts?
I'll jump off of that and agree and say that if you really care about theaters, particularly independent theaters, hashtag Save Your Cinema, hashtag support the Save Our Stages Act. So that was the hashtag Save Your Cinema was just a letter writing campaign, letter as in like, you know, email and whatnot, and just a Twitter campaign and just a push to legislators, American legislators to get them to fund theaters, because I'll be the radical and say that we need to be freaking paying people to stay at home because most of us are stupid and we don't want to stay at home. But in terms of providing relief for your movie theaters, if you really care about them, if you really want to support them, take a look at the SOS Act, the Save Our Stages Act. There's one in the Senate and one in the House. They're parallel laws. S.4258 HR 7806. Very bipartisan. You can check them on Congress.gov. They haven't had much traction since I think July, but recently on November 30th, there was a Variety article. Movie theater owners applaud Senator Schumer for championing cinemas and Save Our Stages Act. And I don't want to, jerk off certain politicians. Certainly, not a lot of room for Senator Schumer, but just in terms of them wanting to incorporate movie theaters into that relief bill, because Save Our Stages Act was originally public venues, like for concert venues, performances, not necessarily movie theaters, but now they have been included according to that. I'm sorry, Joe, I should have included this earlier.
No, you're fine.
But I'll just talk about it for now. Recently extended the relief package to include independent movie theaters. So that's certainly that will provide way more relief to the movie theaters you love to go to than your $10 ticket.
Yeah, and then a bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's where you really want to go. The Save Our Stages Act. Keep your eye on that. It's currently it could die in committee for all we know, as a lot of them do, as a lot of the bills do. But it's one to look at if you genuinely care. That's what the real money is.